Meeting minutes from May 6th, 2025.
Move approval?
Do you move it? So I'll second it.
Okay, and all in favor, aye?
Aye.
Item number 3 is approval of claims, and we have a problem with approval of claims right now. To inform everyone, the question has come up, the claims were not included in the packet, and there is question as to whether or not we can approve the claims because they were not in the packet. So, Jody, are you on?
Yes, I'm on. And my opinion is we can't approve the claims because the backup information wasn't included. But even at a minimum, the amounts and the names of the claims weren't listed on the agenda. So we're just going to have to do this at a next meeting, either a special meeting or a meeting in 2 weeks.
Okay, any other comments or suggestions?
No.
I just moved a table, I guess.
Second?
All in favor, aye? Aye. Passes 3-0. Item number 4 is financial report, and we would call on Ryan Erickson, please, for that.
Good afternoon, Ryan Erickson, Finance Director for Woodbury County. Just the financial review has an additional column this week because we have a reclass of the funds. Per research and discussion with the bond attorney, we determined that some of the items like the interest income should have been going to the taxable bond. And then there were some construction expenses that should have been paid out of the taxable bond. And then we had some other items that totaled up that $777,000 is going to be moved out of the taxable bond fund into the miscellaneous revenue fund. So then that would give us about 3.5 million in the taxable bond fund, which at the moment is more than, I think it's about 3 million that's needed for the retainage. And then there's some, ending construction expenses that can be covered by that. And then that brings the miscellaneous fund up to nearly $800,000 for payment of attorney fees and other expenses like that. On page 2, it kind of categorizes the top level reclass, like the interest on the bond funds was $516,000. The Woodbury County had authorized $717,000, and that was board approved on April 21st to be moved to the miscellaneous revenue. And then there were some other non-bond funds that needed to be reclassed out. And then construction-related expenses to be paid out, and then non-construction that should have been in the miscellaneous revenue. So that was the total net was $778,000 that got reclassed. And, next week I would have had the claims, but since we can't do that this week, we'll probably have a pretty empty report next week, or next 2 weeks.
Okay,
So that's
any
all.
questions? Mr. Erickson? Thank you, sir.
Thanks,
Thank you.
All right, item number 5 on the agenda today is discussion and action on a quote for 3 AHU-2 airflow stations from Star Controls. And I would call on Shane Albrecht from Baker Group to give us an overview of that, please.
Yep. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. First off, Mr. Chairman, can you hear me okay?
Yes, we can.
So before everybody in the packet is a quote from Star Control for $29,599. I want everybody to understand, first off, that's a price not to exceed. Because this is the first one of 3 that we have to do, we felt it would be best if we did this in a time and material basis with a breakdown of suitor basically telling us there's going to be 8 hours of engineering, roughly 50 hours of programming and graphical work, 4 hours of commissioning, and 56 hours of installation. And the material at most is going to cost $10,771. So what's going to go on is we're going to provide airflow monitoring stations, and there's going to be 3 of them. So 2 of them on the supply fans, because there's 10 supply fans on AHU2 and 4 return fans. So there'll be 2 on the supply fans, 1 on the return fan. What this will tell us is the amount of airflow moving through each of those respective fans. Because right now we're having a problem controlling AHU2. The return fans, the four of them that are together, move too much air, moves almost 23,000 CFM of air, and turn down to their minimum, causes the fans to fail at a very alarming rate, just because it's 408 and there's just not enough current going to them. So they show up in air and fault. And this will allow our new AHU control sequence to better handle for the building. AHU2, for everybody's knowledge, does the courts area and does the county attorney's space. That's the main functions of AHU2. We also will have to do AHU1 and AHU3, but that will be at a later time. This is our test. We get an idea rather than Suter give us a quote based on their best guesses. We felt this was a better choice. We feel the number will come in at less than that if things go well, but this will be the worst that will be. Is there any more questions?
Maybe for Jody, are these, the expenditures on this and on the future airflow control modules, are these damages that we'll seek to get back from the parties of either the design team or construction team, or what are we thinking on this?
Yes,
Yeah.
Mark. No, I'm
Yeah.
not. Sorry, I'm not Jody, but yeah, these are all part of the damages I listed out, and we've talked about in previous things. It just is quite a bit higher than what I would have guessed it was going to cost. But I've got that to Jody for her to update those numbers. Okay.
Is Entroba good with this? Is this something they want done?
That is correct.
Okay.
I would move approval.
I'll second. All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Passes 3-0. Okay, item number 6 today is discussion and action on 2 payments to BOK Financial, and I would call on Shane Albrecht for that, please.
Yeah. So included here, this is you make 2 bond payments a year. This is both your taxable and your non-taxable bonds. This is the payment for this. This is a standard thing you have to do. It is included in the package, so you guys can authorize to pay this. And it's very important that we do get this out because this is due on the 1st of June.
Yep. I would move approval.
Second.
All in favor, aye? Aye. Passes 3-0. Item number 7 on the agenda today is public concerns. Seeing none, we'll move on to item number 8, authority board member concerns.
Nothing further.
When is our next meeting, or do we need to have a special meeting to get these claims paid, or what were you thinking, Ron?
I'm thinking that we maybe should try to have something, I'd like to do it yet this week. I'll be out of town next week, if that would work for the 2 of you. Okay, we'll make,
I'm gonna be gone Friday through the first part of maybe all next week, but I could phone in if it's something Thursday or something, or even Friday, because it would be a pretty quick meeting, just
yeah, just that
approve the
item.
claim, and I guess even if Dan can make it, all he needs is
I can be
2,
here.
you know.
Okay, we'll try to get something set up for Friday then.
Yeah, it's nobody's fault. I think it'd be good if we do a quick meeting, because some of these claims were kind of delayed from the last time while we
Yes.
sorted some stuff out. So it'd probably be good to get these vendors paid, you know.
I'd like to see us do that.
Okay,
Good suggestion. Thank you.
2 p.m.
That works for me.
on Thursday,
Friday?
Friday? I might be able to call in at that point, but yeah, if you want, that works for you too.
Here on Thursday?
Yeah, I could do it Thursday.
Thursday afternoon, I should be around. I could make it.
Thursday.
Or call.
We'll do
Okay.
it. Okay, very good. Thank you. No
What
concerns?
time on Thursday, do you think,
I'm sorry.
gentlemen? Are we thinking like Thursday at 2 p.m. or what time?
Yes,
Okay, that works for me on Thursday.
great. Thank you. All right, any other concerns? All right, I have one. And I believe it's a major concern. We continue to have no grass growing at the site. Weeds continue to grow. And I really believe that with the situation that we've got out there, probably even going to be a problem for building services to be able to mow those. We are out of our spring window to plant. We're going to have to sit tight and not be able to do anything until the fall window arrives. So we need to do a very good job of making sure that we have everything in place to memorialize where this whole process is at. So that will happen. Todd will be at the site a couple times a week doing reports for the rake-in reports so that we document the weather conditions and document with pictures the status of the lack of grass growing and the weeds growing. So I just wanted to share that with the two members and let you know that we got a problem and we're working on it and we'll move forward.
Did they end up flying that drone out and putting fertilizer on it? Do you know?
To the best of my knowledge, I'm not sure on that.
Yeah, that would have been,
Shane, any
Yes,
comments?
they did, Mark.
well, that was a
Yes,
waste.
they did. Yes, they did fly that drone, Mark.
Okay. All right.
So I just wanted to share that with everyone. All right, thank you. Item number 9, adjourn.
Second.
All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you.
Everybody. Thank you.